Hello gamers, and welcome back to Solo Spelunking, to session 0. This will be session 0 of a new solo RPG play series I will start alongside my Cairn solo RPG. And this series will feature Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, the mainstream system. For a couple of reasons, because I came across a product that I find very interesting and intriguing and that I want to try out. And what better way to try it out than to play a solo adventure here with you on this channel. So in this session 0, I will show you the product I came across, and we will create my 5th edition character, and I will also show you what kind of adventure I will be playing. So let's start with the product. And don't worry, I will link all of the products I use in the video description. So, on the DM's Guild, which is basically a sub-site from Drive-Thru RPG, I came across this document, and I only printed out the ones that I need for the gameplay. So I don't have the title, but the title image, but the title, it is called Solo Adventurer's Guide Legendary Characters, and it is by Guilherme Bento. I don't know if I pronounced that right. So Guilherme, if you're watching, please excuse if I didn't pronounce your name right. But I think this is a very intriguing product, and in this line, in this Solo Adventurer's Guideline, there's also a different product which I will also link, but I will not use it in this series, which is basically a solo gaming engine, a GM emulator engine. Looks very nice, that you could use, and this is basically the companion volume to this. And yeah, what does this companion do? It tells you, or it provides you with a way to play a 5th edition adventure solo with a single character without needing to adjust encounter strength and difficulty. And now you think, how can this be possible? Yeah, obviously by buffing your character. This is why it is called legendary characters, but I think the way he did this is pretty intriguing and interesting. So the first half of the product goes into some theory behind this, and then basically here is where it starts. So what he did is he transformed a character into a legendary character using the rules for legendary creatures. So legendary creatures, they have legendary actions, and they also have legendary resistances, and they have lair actions which are ignored for this purpose here. And this is what he did. Basically every legendary character gets 3 legendary actions per turn, and they renew at the start of every turn, and they work just like legendary actions, meaning you can only take them at the end of another character's or creature's turn. So if you're fighting one-on-one, you could use your turn, then the enemy would act, then you get a legendary action at the end of his turn, and then it would be your turn again. And the same if you fight multiple opponents, you get up to 3 legendary actions. And you can use these, of course, to attack, to make a weapon attack or an unarmed attack. And you can also use all your bonus traits like sneak attack or divine smite. But what you can't do is use powers like the extra attack ability. And you also can't use a bonus action for an attack with another offhand weapon, because this is not a standard action attack, it's a legendary action attack, so it works a little bit different. But you can deal some damage, and it is also very powerful. For example, if you are facing multiple opponents, you could use your standard action to take the dodge action, for example, which is in effect until the start of your next turn, and then use your 3 legendary actions to make attacks, for example. And everybody that attacks you, of course, because you dodged, rolls with disadvantage. And so this is a nice feature. You could use 2 legendary actions to cast a spell, even if you already casted a spell. You could use a legendary action to move up to your unused speed this round. So this does not make you very fast. It does not allow you to make like 3 complete moves in a round. But you can spend your unspent movement. Like if you moved 3 squares and then you attacked, and then the enemy it's his turn, and then you could use a legendary action to move another 3 squares into a different position, for example. Then you can make a perception check to detect an invisible or hidden creature. You could yourself hide, make a stealth check, or you could interact with an object, or you can cast a cantrip, which is just 1 action, just like a normal attack. So this is the first element that he introduced, legendary actions. The second is also, now here he gives some examples. A couple of those I gave to you already. So here you can read some examples and some considerations. And then the next thing is legendary resistance. So just like a legendary creature, a legendary character can choose to succeed at a failed save up to 3 times a day or between long rests. So this is to avoid instant death if you are fighting a creature maybe with a paralyze ability and you don't have a party to back you up and you fail your save, which would be instant death, or you would be petrified or something and nobody could save you because you don't have a party. You could then declare that you passed this save. So this is legendary resistance, up to 3 times a day. And the third component, of course, is your hit points and hit dice. So there it is pretty simple. You just multiply them by 4. So you get 4 times your hit dice and hit points at first level. And whenever you gain a level, it is also multiplied by 4. So in effect, you should be as effective with a single character as a party of 4, almost as effective. Of course, you don't have the variety of skills and different special abilities, but you're tough, you have legendary actions, legendary resistances, and this is something I want to try out. And then in this document, he goes on and gives some advice that you could use or incorporate into your solo play of 5e, like some initiative options. And the good and nice thing is that there's also a 1-page rules summary here, which summarizes the most important rules that you need to play on 1 page, but they're also not that hard to remember. So this is the first thing I want to try out, the Solo Adventurer's Guide, and I will link it in the video description, and therefore I will create a 5th edition character. So this is product number 1. Product number 1 I will be using, and this will also define the type of adventure I will be playing. These are the solo gaming rules that come with the Scarlet Heroes RPG. And it is by Kevin Crawford. I will also link it in the description. And the good thing here is that it provides procedures and systems and rules for different types of solo adventures. And what I find most intriguing is this section, Urban Adventures, which gives you a framework or a rule set to play a city-based adventure. And it is a little mechanic, so you have to accumulate a number of victory points before your opponent reaches victory points. So in every scene you have to overcome challenges, and if you beat the challenge in the scene you get a victory point. Otherwise your opponent might get one, your imaginary opponent that you are fighting in the story arc you're playing. And and it provides some city-based oracles and a set structure on how to play these urban adventures. And I want to try this out as well. So I will not use Scarlet Heroes as a rule set, but those mechanics, they're pretty system agnostic except for some NPC stats which you can come up with or convert on the fly. So I will use this urban adventure rule set in conjunction with the legendary heroes or legendary characters solo rules. And why urban adventures? Those of you that are following my Pathfinder Pawns Advent Calendar series, you know that I unboxed a large number of cultists, and while I was doing that video, or while I was doing these videos, I was rambling about the idea of using these cultists in a city-based adventure where the goal is to stop a secret or hidden cult from evil deeds. And this is exactly what I will be doing. So I will play an urban adventure, and it will be storyline number 3. A target has been kidnapped by an antagonist and is in need of rescue. So an old childhood friend of my character has been kidnapped by this cult. So there are rumors spreading around the city that there might be a dark evil cult because people keep disappearing and stuff. And this will be the cult of Gamash, something I just made up. And they're trying to resurrect or free a powerful demon from the 9 hells. So therefore they need human sacrifices, and I got limited time to free my old childhood friend. So this will be a city-based urban adventure using this rule set. So that's product number 2. Scarlet Heroes by Kevin Crawford, solo rules. Like I said, I will link it in the description. And the third thing I want to try out is a custom class variant. Nothing special really. The thing that I like most about these independent systems is that they're classless. I never really liked these class-based systems because, yeah, I don't know. I'm always missing this classic adventure, soldier of fortune or fortune type character. And so I came up with the adventurer class, which I dubbed a 5e fighter variant or archetype, because it is strongly based on the fighter class, because the fighter class is what comes closest, in my opinion, to this soldier of fortune type adventurer that is not using magic like the bard. The bard is also like an adventurer, very flexible, but you always have this magic or musical component that I don't want. So basically this is a martial based bard and not a casting based bard, if you will. So the adjustments are as follows. Let me fold it like this, so then it is easier for me to show to you in the camera. So this is my 5e fighter variant, and I can link this document also in the description. You trade in your d10 hit die for a d8. So the adventurer uses d8 as their hit die. But what you gain in return is versatility. So as skill proficiencies, you can pick any 3 skills. Like the bard. The bard can also pick any 3 skills. The fighter can only pick 2 from a very limited list of class skills. So you can pick any 3 skills. Also for save proficiency, you can pick any 2 saves. So here you do not gain anything power-wise because everybody is proficient in 2 saving throws. But what you gain is flexibility and versatility. So you can build the character as you imagine it. Then you can pick any 1 tool or instrument proficiency. Pick any 1. So this is an upgrade to the fighter because the fighter does not get any tool proficiencies in his standard class description. So other proficiencies are granted by their background choice. So I'm using the normal background rules where you pick a background and the background provides you with proficiencies. Then you also lose some martial prowess again. So as a weapon proficiencies, you only get simple weapons and your choice of 3 martial weapons. So the fighter is proficient with all weapons. You get your choice of 3 martial weapons. Also, you lose a little bit armor proficiencies. You lose the heavy armor proficiencies. So you're proficient in light and medium armor and shields, but you can choose to trade one of their martial weapon proficiencies. So instead of 3, you could only choose 2 for proficiency with heavy armor. So if you really need it, if it really fits your character idea, you could trade one of those proficiencies to be also be proficient with heavy armor. And all other class features are as per the fighter class and fighter level progression. But the second wind feature regenerates only 1d8 plus level hit points instead of 1d10, because you use a d8 as a hit dice. So what do you lose? Summarized, you lose some armor proficiency, some weapon proficiency, and your d10 hit die, and you gain in return 1 more skill choice and the versatility to pick any skills and saves that you want to build the character you imagine. And this is the class which comes my idea of basically a classless system very near. So basically this is the classless class, the catch-all adventurer class based on the fighter. So basically a non-casting bard type character. I don't think it is very overpowered, but we will see. And anyway, since I'm playing by myself, it doesn't really matter if it would be overpowered, because it's not unfair, because I don't have any other players that I take the spotlight away from. So never mind anyways. So this will be the class I will be using for my character. And since I know that I'm playing an urban adventure, I have already predetermined some choices. So I chose the urchin background. So I grew up on my own in a big city where the adventure will take place. So I have the city secrets background feature, which means I find my way quickly around the city and know all the hidden and secret passages. And like I said, all other class features are per fighter class. At first level, I can choose a fighting style, and I chose dueling because I imagine myself as a rapier using musketeer type, elegant fencer, duelist type. So those skill proficiencies are granted by the background, sleight of hand, and stealth. So, and now I get to pick 3 more, which I will do with you guys here on camera. The background also grants me proficiency with a disguise kit and thieves tools, and by my adventurer class rules, I could pick 1 more because it says pick any one, and the other proficiencies as by background. So I will do that as well. I also predetermined my hit die because it's 1d8. I'm using a milestone XP system, and I will create the other stats with you on camera. My proficiency bonus is +2. This will be what I will be doing now. And I will use the roll 46 drop lowest method with my standard heroic adjustment that values below 10 are raised to 10. I do not believe in adventurers having below average stats and getting penalties because they're adventurers, period. So, and I also, of course, don't go down the line. Like I said, I like customizability, so I will create 6 scores with you. I will jot them down here on this piece of scrap paper, and then we will distribute. And I'm using the non-variant human from the basic rules, meaning I get +1 to every ability score as a racial adjustment. All right, so we have... All right, see, so this is 10. That is 10. If it would be below 10, I would have raised it to 10. All right, so we got a 10. Let's continue. Oh, gosh, a 9. All right, so that would be a 9, but it is raised to 10. Doesn't start very well now, does it? All right, and we have... Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me. 10. I think there was a rule of re-rolling if none of your stats is, I think, 14 or so. I don't know. I gotta look it up. 10, 10, 10. And we have, oh, nice one. 16. All right, so not too bad. A 16. And we have, all right, a 12. So at least I get some bonuses. And the last roll. Last roll. Come on, give me one more good one. Last roll. Last roll. Yeah, all right, 14. 14. All right, so it is 14, 16, 12, 10, 10, 10. Now I get +1 to every ability because I'm a non-variant human. So this is 11, 11, 11, 17, 13, 15. All right. So, yeah. So now to distribute these scores, I will put my highest score obviously in dexterity because I want to play a nimble dueling finesse weapon using rapier duelist. So my dexterity will be 17 and it'll grant me a +3 modifier. So that's the 17. My next highest ability will be, it will be, I'm torn between wisdom and charisma. I mean, I need charisma because I also want to pick deception and persuasion as people skills, and also imagine myself as the fast talking guard deceiving kind of guy. So charisma would be nice, but also wisdom for perception, intuition, and just street smarts, if you want to call it that. But I think I prefer charisma. So I put the 15 in charisma, which is a +2 modifier. And wisdom will be 13, +1 modifier. And all the other scores will be 11, giving no modifier, but also no penalty. All right. So my hit points at first level is maximum hit die value, which will be 8. And I will multiply this by 4, but on scrap paper. So no constitution modifier. So now I need to pick some more skills. So I can pick any 3. So like I said, I want to take deception, persuasion, and the third one will be acrobatics, which fits my agile, rooftop climbing, imagination of the character. So those are my skills. Those 3 I got because I get pick any 3, and those 2 are from the background. So another tool proficiency. This will be a gaming set. Gaming set, cards. Card gaming set. I will be proficient with gaming set cards. All right, so I already picked my dueling. Now I need to, let's turn this around, to pick my, gear. I already prepared this. Now I need to pick my martial weapon proficiencies. So I jot those down here. Weapon proficiency. I will be proficient, of course, with the rapier. Then I will be proficient with a short sword. And also, what else will I be proficient with? I'm thinking scimitar or longsword. I mean, longsword would be a suboptimal choice because I do not have a strength bonus and it's not a finesse weapon. However, I'm not always going by what is optimal, but also like how I imagine my character, and I think an adventurer, he should be able to use a sword, so I'm putting down longsword. Alright, so those are my 3 weapon proficiencies. My armor proficiencies I will not change, so I'm proficient with light and medium armor and shields, and not heavy armor. And gear, I've grown quite fond of a gear slot system, and I will go by Cairn and say I have con score in gear slots. So I have 11 slots that I can fill with gear. And yeah, and now for starting equipment. I don't go by any books now, it's just what I think is fitting. So usually all my characters start with 10 gold pieces. So I put these down here. And now I need to see or find something, some stuff. Alright, so proficient armor first, light and medium armor and shields. I imagine my character as a city-grown urchin, so I don't really see myself wearing any kind of medium armor like metal chain, but also leather is also not really fitting. So here I have this problem with the mechanics, so I will just reskin it. I will just say that I am wearing a padded vest, and I will treat this as leather armor, giving me just an AC base of 11. It's just a light armor, so yeah, a padded, or this is that's cloth armor, right? But yeah, I just put down padded vest. So it takes up 1 slot, and it provides me with AC 11 plus Dex. I put this down. So this will be my armor. So basically I look unarmored. I have a thicker, like I'm wearing a shirt, like a linen shirt maybe, and I'm having wearing a thick padded quilted vest over it, which is my armor, my AC 11 armor. Alright, so then of course I need some, or my standard adventurer's belt that I already introduced to you. No adventurer should leave home without it. Then of course I have a rapier, because this is what I'm proficient with. A dagger, everybody has a dagger in my boot. Rapier, dagger, adventurer's belt, and yeah, and I don't really need much, because it's a city-based adventure, and I imagine my character like as a street city rat, so he's not the guy who went outside exploring the wilderness, so I don't see him carrying like rations or torches and stuff, because you don't need this in a city. So, do I need anything else? I got my adventurer's belt, I got my rapier, I got my dagger. Oh, yeah, I will give myself a set of thieves' tools, and a card gaming set, yeah. Alright, so thieves' tools, they are attached to my adventurer's belt in a pouch. I do not see myself having a disguise kit, but gaming cards. But those don't take up a slot. They're too small, so I will not put a dot down. I just put down a gaming card set. Alright, and then I got common clothes underneath my padded vest. Common clothes and a brimmed hat. Alright, so this will be my character. His name is Cain Kellis. He's a human adventurer, street urchin or city urchin, level 1, and these are his stats. So now I can determine my armor class. It is 14 because I got 3 dex and 11 base. So I have an AC of 14. And my rapier, I use my rapier. So put down my attack down here. So I'm using a finesse weapon. I'm proficient with it. So my rapier is +5. Rapier. And it deals 1d8 plus 5 damage because I add +2 for my dueling feat to my dexterity modifier. Alright, so you know what? This looks confusing, so you might think it is a +5 rapier, which would be nice. I'll do it the other way around. I put down rapier. And it has +5 attack, and then I put a dash like this, so +5 attack, d8 +5 damage. If I only use the rapier. Alright, so this will be my character, Cain Callus, and the city where I will play in will be the city of Flan in the Moonsea region. During the time of the Adventurers League Tyranny of Dragon season, which means that there's also some stuff going on in the city, but this is not so relevant for this adventure. It's just background dressing. So this storyline will be that an old childhood friend of me that I grew up with in the city, let's see if it's male or female, would be fitting if it's female, so even is female. Yes, all right, so a very dear childhood friend, maybe hidden romance was or has disappeared, was kidnapped maybe by this cult, or at least I've heard rumors about this cult. I don't know yet if it is behind this kidnapping or where my friend disappeared to, but my goal is to find out what happened to her and to hopefully locate her. So this will be the setup, and I will be running this series alongside with my Cairn series. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to try out these new mechanics and see how they go. And I'm also excited that you will be joining me, hopefully, on this journey. So that was the usual session 0. And I hope you liked it. And like I said, I will put the links to the products I use in the description. And yeah, I would be very happy if you like what I'm doing, if you hit that subscribe button. It's only a click and it costs you nothing, but it brightens my day. So please do subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.